some people recently expressed an interest in an old Tom Brier album that included some synthesizers. So I thought I'd show you Tom Brier CDs. A lot of Tom Brier fans out there. Only a few of these CDs are still in print, but the first one actually is still in print. You can still get this one, Rising Star, on the Stomp Off label. Includes a caricature there of either Tom Brier or Jerry Lewis, I'm not sure. This has a lot of unusual old rags, including some Brier originals like Rose Blossoms and Brier Patch rag. Get it? Brier Patch. This one came out in 1994. It's actually recorded in 1993 on my birthday, actually, on September 28th. Kind of interesting. I saw it there somewhere. Yeah, right there, September 28th, 1993. So that was a few days before Tom turned 22. So he's a youngster there. But yeah, you can still get that one online. This is the one that was I was talking about. It uses synthesizers. Very rare album, this one. This is a self-published deal with printed labels there. It was a CDR, you know. And this one has, again, some pretty rare rags and Brier originals. And it's got something like silly liner notes, generic pancake mix. For tastier than tasty pancakes. You know, Tom's silly sense of humor there. And yeah, this uses a synthesizer on a Yamaha PSR 410. The interesting thing about this is that there's no separation between the tracks. They all kind of blend together. He created this kind of a segues. Very rare album there, because synthesizer ragtime is not very popular among ragtime musicians. And this was his first self-published album, so he has a CD 101 there. This next one was one that was published by Eric Marchese, a composer from Southern California. Brier plays Marchese. These are all rags written by Eric Marchese. He's a fantastic composer of classic ragtime. And I don't know if this one is still available or not, from Eric or not. This came out in 1998. And you see there you have the composer, Eric Marchese, and some clean-shaven fellow there. I don't know who the heck that is. Next one here is another Tom Brier self-published deal, but this one says CD 104. So there are a couple others that he apparently made there. I think he mixed some for his family. This one is again not piano solo. These are piano roll arrangements that Tom made. He created piano roll arrangements of classic and contemporary rags, including one of mine. In fact, Eric Marchese actually wrote liner notes here for my rag. And see, it is Affinity rag. Ta-da. So yeah, Affinity rag, Ron Odell, 1993. A ragtime composer from Cupertino, California, which is where I was living at the time. Odell wrote his first rag, Spontaneity, in 1988, and has written 8 more since, including that crotchety old rag, Greasy Spoon rag, Conversation Pieces, and To the Nines. For the most part, popular style rags, one piece in the folk style, and one piano novelty. Kind of a novelty. Affinity is only the second rag so named. The first was Irene Kozad's from 1910. Its opening strain blends 2 different ragtime styles, classic and pop, with an interesting use of the minor key. The second strain offers a James Scott-like execution of melodic ideas. The third strain opens with a familiar-sounding melody, then diverges into some interesting and unusual harmonic territory. With only one unusual harmonic change, the final strain lends itself especially well to piano roll techniques. That's pretty cool. And this next album is a duet. This album also is still available. It's a duet with the late Nan Bostic, dueling, get it, duel, at the McCoys. It's 2 piano duets. Tom and Nan used to do a lot of 2 piano duets, particularly of music of Charles and Daniels, who was Nan's great uncle, and who was also the man responsible for publishing Scott Joplin's first rag. This one is, again, still available. You can get it on CD Baby. Has, again, these are all music from that guy, or that he either published or that he wrote himself, under various pseudonyms, of course. There is a second one that you can also still get called Missing You at the McCoys. I don't know. I don't have that one. I think those are mainly slower tunes. I highly recommend getting that album. That's really cool. Another one, Tom again using keyboards, in this case sampling keyboards. Another self-published one, this one CD 105. Skeletons, this one again, out of print. He used a sampling keyboard to create band arrangements of contemporary and classic rags. And again, one of mine is on here. So let's take a look. I think Eric Marchese also wrote the liner notes to this one. So let's see. Here we go. It says, in the past decade or so, Northern California composer Ron Odell has penned some of the most idiosyncratic pieces of the many hundreds, if not thousands, of today's ragtime composers. From 1992, Conversation Pieces is one of his earliest, a clever foxtrot well suited for band arrangement. As in his other compositions, Odell creates ear-catching, unexpected chord changes and pays a great deal of attention to bass lines, which is very true for that rag in particular because I actually wrote the bass line first. And I wrote melody on top of an existing bass line. The bass line has a melody of its own. This one, CD 109 on the Brier catalog. This one is still available. You can get it from CD Baby and Amazon and all these places. Rewind. This one, finally, after many, many years, this is now 2006, Tom, from popular demand, finally put out an album of him playing the piano, which he hadn't done since, I guess, Brier Plays Marchese in 1990, what was that one, 1998. So 8 years later, here is Rewind. This one is all rare ragtime and ragtime era pieces. That's a nice album. And then in 2009, there were 2 albums. You have the Raspberry Jam Band's self-published album, Raspberries to Crow About, from the Auburn Fruit and Nut Company, which has a lot of great pieces on it. This, of course, is the old Raspberry Jam Band now. There's only 3 members of the band are with the new Raspberry Jam Band, so that's that. But the same year, by popular demand, Tom created an album of all Brier compositions. There's one piece that was co-written with Neil Blaze, and this was Blue Sahara. And last year, Tom came out with another album, but I don't have that one yet, and that one is called Constellations. And that one is, by the way, this CD also is available on CD Baby and Amazon and so forth, and probably iTunes as well. I don't have iTunes, but you can probably get it. And his new album should be available online soon at some point. I'm not sure what the holdup is, but eventually Constellations will be available as well. And that one also is all Brier compositions, but older Brier compositions, whereas Blue Sahara here was fairly new Brier compositions at the time. See, 2006, 2006, 2007, 2008. So they're all from that 3-year period. Really great pieces on that. And so those are all the Tom Brier CDs that I happen to have.